How we doing, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin. I've got an album review for you, as promised. Yep, this is the new album from Bodyfarm, and this is Ultimate Abomination. Is that right? Yeah. Don't know why. Always get nervous when I say it out loud. I think, oh my god, have I got it wrong? So, yes, this is the new album with awesome artwork, and I've only just took this out of the cellophane. It turned up yesterday. I did an unboxing video yesterday, and this had turned up as well when I thought, give it another night. I've been listening to this for a couple of weeks now, on and off. It came out, we're recording this now on the 21st of March, and it came out, yeah, probably about a month ago now. So I did pre-order it on Bandcamp, so the day it came out, I got the download. But the CD only turned up yesterday, and on this I've got a bonus track which I've not actually heard, but I'm sure it's worth getting. Let's quickly have a look as well, because it might be a cover of something. That seems to be the done thing nowadays. Let's have a look. Quickly. Professional as ever. Nope. It's a proper song. So yeah, get the CD. You get an extra track that I've not heard yet. So, well, I've just took this out of cellophane, so let's have a look inside. Got the cool little logo there. If I was in the band, I would get that tattooed. Probably. I've always fancied a neck tattoo. Never quite had the courage. I'm always worried about job interviews, but people get tattoos on their face now and everything, don't they? So, yeah. Not that I'm going to get that, but, you know what I mean. I'm rambling now, and right, get on with it. Got the booklet there. I wonder who did this artwork. Let's have a look. Got any cool photos? No, you just got sort of zooming in of certain... Oh, cool band photo there. The new lineup, we shall get into it, don't you worry. I mean, yeah, I suppose I might as well start now. It looked like, well, it was a bit unsure, weren't we, what the future held for Bodyfarm. Oh, that's a cool live photo there. The previous album, Dreadlord, which I've got here. Fantastic Dan Seagrave artwork. Unfortunately, had a bit of a dark cloud over its release, because the original singer, well, vocalists and guitarists, and founding member of the band, Thomas Walters, I think it is Walters. I'm not sure if I've pronounced that right. From the Netherlands, so I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Tragically died about a month or so before the album's release. I mean, fortunately, he did finish the album, but yeah, it was a bit of a bittersweet release, really. So Thomas had formed the band. There's no original members now. Not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just an observation. I mean, look at Napalm Death; they're doing all right. But yeah, the original EP, which was released in 2010, was recorded as a two-piece, three-piece. The bass was done on a session basis. So you got Thomas Waters, I think that is, and Quint Meerbeck on drums, and they were the two founding members. They had a solid lineup though. The other two members joined on on the first album and second album and whatnot. We'll go through that now. So, yeah, Dreadlord was released in 2019. So you got Thomas vocal and guitars, Quint on drums, and then you've got Bram Hillworst on guitars and Alex Seegers on bass. And this was a corker of an album. It really was fantastic, and it was marked the release, and he was only 31 as well when he died, which is just absolutely tragic. There's, that's no age, and yeah, absolute tragedy. And Bodyfarm, for the uninitiated, well, they're from the Netherlands and they're a death metal band, so you've pretty much got it summed up already. In that traditional, old school, classic death metal way. Nice, good, buzzing chainsaw guitars. Good frantic riffs. Great drumming. Good songs. Little bit of melody here and there in the solos when needed, but never taking away from the intensity of the music. Think early Pestilence. Think Bolt Thrower and Asphyx, or, you know, the sort of carriers of the Bolt Thrower crown really was Hail of Bullets. I suppose the closest we've got to that now is Bolt Thrower now is Benediction, really. Like they were the twins, weren't they? And they're still carrying on. But yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, the early Pestilence albums. But yeah, just that good crunchy, grindy, shreddy death metal, you know, that good stuff. So and yeah, just a really good solid band with loads and loads of potential, you know. And it would have been a shame. It's a bit odd, you know, with the founding member dying and then the other founding member no longer in the band for whatever reason. I'm not sure what's gone on there, but it would have been a shame for this to be the end, you know. But then again, 10, 20 years goes by, you would have had like this faultless, perfect catalogue of. I think this is 3 albums. I think this is their 4th album. Let's have a quick look. You know what the metal scene's like, but yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so this is their 5th album, and you got a couple of EPs and singles and whatnot. But yeah, the band have come back in style. We'll get into the music in a minute, but we'll just cover. So we've had a shuffle about. They've obviously put this album out, and this is the album Thomas wanted people to hear, and these songs needed to be played live. This album wasn't going to sell itself, was it? They needed to tour and promote it, so they needed to get a lineup to tour, and then, you know, however many gigs down the line, the guys have obviously bonded. They've got a bit of chemistry, and it's like, well, why not carry on? You know, I can respect that. So you got the 2 members on the last album. So you've got Bram Wilhurst on guitars. He's been in the band since 2009. And then Alex Seegers, who was on bass, is now switched to guitars. So now you've got them 2 as twin guitarists. And now you've got Ralph de Boer on vocals and bass. So he's come on bass, so the bass player's swapped to guitar. And now they've got a new drummer in tow as well. And this is David Sherman, I think that is. And let's see if this new drummer's done the album, because sometimes the drummers jump in. No, he did do the album. Yeah, cool. So we've got a new vocalist and bassist. Bassist is now on guitar. New drummer, and yeah, the long-standing guitarist still doing what he does best. Now, into the music. Go around it to the bands. They have hit the ground running quite simply. This is a fantastic death metal album. Again, they're not reinventing the wheel. They never did. They were never trying to. This is just good death metal done in the style that they want and executed wonderfully, really. I've got a dent in my digipack. That's annoying. That's only going to get worse as well. Digipacks don't age at the best of times. It's annoying. Anyway, it's happening now. I didn't do it anyway. I've only just took it out to wrap him. But yeah, let's get into it then. So yeah, we straight out the gate. No fancy intros. No thingy. Just straight chainsaw grinding guitars with a nice squealing solo lead over the top. You know, good frantic Kerry King solos all over these songs. Frantic Kerry King playing, but not just for the sake of it. There's a bit of melody in there as well. There's a bit of harmony, they're thought out, but they're also very frantic. So they found that nice, perfect balance. But yeah, Torment hits the ground running nicely. My bloody handwriting. Symbolical Warfare is the first track that really sort of stands out. That's the one that sort of will become an earworm later. This nice sort of, kind of like a melodic main riff at the thing, but like a real sort of shredded, you know, but playing a melody, and that sort of kicks in your head. Good use of groove as well. The band know how to throw some power chords around and know how to pace the song nicely. Wicked Red is it's got a bit of a punky vibe to that one, kind of like a Killing Joke vibe on that one. The way the guitar's in, the way the drums are, it's kind of like a sort of post-punk sort of beat underneath it. Imagine a death metal band covering a Killing Joke song. You get the idea with Wicked Red. Blasting Tyranny, I think the title says it all with that one. It does blast, and blasts, zooms past you like a train, that one. Especially after you have the sort of mid-paced sort of thing with Wicked Red. That one just sort of blasts you back into action, really. Then things take a nice little twist with the Swamp. That one starts out with a bit of an orchestral introduction. And then when it kicks in, so you've got this nice melody on the violins, and then just boom, 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 boom. Fucking awesome. Heavy as fuck, but nice and slow and dirgy as well. So when Blasting Tyranny just before it was really, really fast, really frantic. So everything's nicely, perfectly paced. So you've got Torment. Gives you a nice little idea of what you're in for. Symbolic Warfare ups the ante. Wicked Red gives you a nice post-punky sort of mid-paced little groove. Blasting Tyranny, fast as hell. Swamp, nice, slow, dirgy. So everything's perfectly paced so far. And from the Swamp onwards, I think the album, everything's really good so far, but everything's nice and spaced out. It's a nice bit of variation, but I think the songwriting from Carving Repentance up until the end of the album, I think the second half of the album is actually better. But yeah, Carving Repentance has this real cold, dark, atmospheric sort of quiet. The song sort of slows and reduces down to this nice, well, it's not nice, but it's really cool, dark and atmospheric, and then builds back up again. And Empire of Iniquity, there you go. That had a really cool melodic solo on that as well. And when I say melodic, don't think like they've gone sort of death symbolic, or there's melody in there that takes away from the heaviness. No, this makes the songs even darker. It just makes things nice, and just gives it an extra layer, really, and an extra layer to the heaviness. It gives it that more of a just more of a sinister edge, I think, what was the one afterwards? I want to see if that goes like that. Is that better? No, I don't think it is. What was I? Right. Soul Damnation, yeah. Carries on, really, from where we were before. Sacrilege of the Fallen as well. Nice. Pretty much, I'm going to be repeating myself now, really. But yeah, Soul Damnation, really good song. I was going to say Sacrifice of the Fallen. It's Sacrilege of the Fallen. Nice as well. And then Charlotte and Messiah just closes things off, really, with a nice, fast, frantic, everything you've got so far, but just rings off and ends the album on a high note, really. It's it's hard to describe something so simple without repeating yourself. But like I say, it's just good, chainsaw guitars, great drumming, great riffs, fantastic leads, with just a nice bit of melody just thrown in just to mix things up, keep things going. The band know when to speed things up, slow things down, chuck in a bit of groove, chuck in a bit of thing. The songs are all perfectly paced. And I say, it's not something you've not already heard before, but it's nothing you've not heard before, but it's better than what you've heard lately. Let's put it like that. It's these guys have really, they're honouring who their influences are, and they're living up to them. And I think in time as well, they've already got a great catalogue. They're 5 albums in, but I think time's going to be very kind to this band, and I think the back catalogue's going to be matching their influences. And to come back from what the band's gone through with an album this good is, you know, that's commendable, regardless of any band under the circumstances. So that alone is worth your respect. So yeah, I would say if you are new to the bands, this is a good place to start as any. I will be honest. I mean, Dreadlord is the only album I've got apart from. I've only got these two albums. I do keep meaning to get the rest of their stuff, but there's one or two that are a bit hard to get hold of, and if you do find them, they're a bit expensive. And when I get into a band, I have to have everything, and if there's one that's missing, it tortures me, and I just can't go through that again. I can't be bothered with it. There's that one that's missing, and there's one copy for like 50 quid, and you're like, you start rationalising into getting it, and no, I'm not doing that this time. So I'll pick the rest of the collection up as and when. But yeah, just as good a place to start as any, but definitely check that out as well. Maybe start with these two. Are they the same record label? No, they're not. I was going to say you could get both, but let's have a quick look who did this artwork actually, because Dan Seagrave did Dreadlord. Who did this one? Because this is awesome. This would be a great t-shirt. I don't know why I didn't get one. But artwork. Daymorph. Who's that? What's he done? Right, he's in a couple of bands by the looks of it. Act of God, Grons, Cadaverich. Not heard of them. Right, that's what's he done. Abominable Putridity. That sounds a bit familiar. Avulsed, so he's done a couple of Avulsed releases. Body Snatch, Carnal Decay, Catacomb, Decrepit, Demon Stealer. Ah, right, yeah, I remember him. Good album from a few years ago. I'll be honest, there isn't a lot of here I've heard of, but Levidity did their 2018 album. No, Pyrexia, Sickening. Oh, Black Diala Murder. He did Abysmal by Black Diala Murder. Visceral Decay, that rings a bell. Yeah, you get the idea anyway. But yeah, fantastic artwork there. Fantastic album. Good, awesome death metal. Well worth your time. So, there you go. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching. Well, I won't say too much, but I've got a guest coming on, and we're going to be doing a retrospective of a certain band. There's a bit of a clue in the background. See if you can spot. See if you can guess who it is. If you can guess who it is, put it in the comments. But yeah, if this is your first video, welcome aboard. If not, if you're a regular, thanks for watching as always. Go check out Bodyfarm. Go listen to some metal. Have a good week. And I'll see you all soon. Take care.